goal to install energy-efficient systems in most homes by 2050. To help get there, the Mass Save program offers homeowners thousands of dollars in rebates to upgrade. The program is plagued with problems, to what some call the Mass Save mess.
It's really great.
You just hit the power button and
in Sutton, Chris Bannon put in mini split heat pumps.
we couldn't be happier with it.
The systems are expensive, but both homeowners are passionate about the environment and want to be more energy efficient. They also had the added incentive of knowing they would get thousands back in Mass Save rebates.
$10,000.
People like us, we depend on that rebate. It's a lot of money for us.
But after putting in the systems and paying for them, they had trouble getting the money.
It's really frustrating and disheartening that people like us who are trying to do the right thing and make the right decisions for the environment, that we're being exposed to this hassle.
It feels like they're holding my money hostage.
What's going on? I'm Jonathan, aka the Heat Pump Hero. But actually, you're the real heroes because you're helping save energy one heat pump at a time. So today I wanted to talk about the Mass Save program. It's been a hot topic in the news a lot lately, not for really good reasons. There's a lot of words flying around like scam and holding my money hostage and things like that. So is Mass Save a scam? Is it just a big way to just fool people to going all electric and then steal your money away? Well, I'm here to tell you no. I'm not a part of Mass Save in any way. I don't get paid by them. I own an HVAC company in Canton, Mass that has been in business since 2011. We started off specializing in heat pump installation, whether it was geothermal or air source heat pumps. And so since 2011, we've been specializing in helping customers go green by taking out their fossil fuel systems and putting in clean energy heat pumps. So we have a lot of experience working with the Mass Save program and putting in literally thousands of different types of heat pump systems over the years. And so I can assure you that it's definitely not a scam. I think the problem is there's just so many more people that are learning about this technology, are enticed by the big rebates, and there's just not enough infrastructure in the process, infrastructure in the Mass Save program. I will tell you though that they just changed vendors, and I'm hopeful that the new vendor will help and expedite a lot of these things, not just for the consumer, but also for us, the contractors, because it can be very difficult and hold up the process as well for us. So let's pray on that. But here's what I will tell you. From doing literally thousands of these installations over the years, there's 10 steps that you absolutely want to make sure that you do so that you get a system that's going to be energy efficient, that's going to make your home heat and cool well and comfortable. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to run the system. And at the end of it, you're going to have a working system that also got you a really fat check at the end. Sound good? So let's go over. We're going to talk about the 10 steps to help you get those heat pump rebates a little bit faster. Number 1, the first thing you want to do is schedule an in-home energy assessment. You can do that right online, right at the Mass Save website. They're going to find whoever's closest to you and send out the assessor. And they're going to take time. Make sure that they really go through your home. Now, if your home is newer, or you had Mass Save come out in the last 2 years, or you've had weather energy efficient updates already done to your home recently, then you probably don't need to go through this step. This is only for customers who haven't had Mass Save out recently or ever. Maybe you live in an older home and you probably definitely need some weatherization improvements. You're going to need to do those before you have a heat pump, or at least before you're going to get any rebates back, right? So you definitely want to schedule that energy assessment relatively soon in the process. Number 2, make sure that you hire a heat pump contractor that's on the list. That list is on Mass Save, and it's heat pump installation network or qualified contractors. And there's about 200-300 different contractors on the list. You can even drill it down a little bit more. If you only wanted to work with minority-owned contractors, you can really drill down and figure out, who's in your area, zip code. But then you could find a contractor, but just make sure they're on the list. This is something that I've seen hold up a lot of customers where they find a contractor on Google, have them come. Contractor says, yeah, we do heat pumps all the time, just to find out that they're not on a list. And now they have to go through this whole process all over again. Okay, so make sure they're on the list. Step number 3, not only that they should be on the list, but I think you should find someone that has experience doing this. There's a lot of oil companies, propane companies, average plumbers that are just coming into this area, this arena of installing heat pumps. And it's very different than just slapping in a furnace or a boiler. You really want to have someone who has really tangible experience doing these things. Because again, this is not only an area where it can hold up your rebates, but you can also have a system installed that's not right for your home. It's going to cost a lot in energy bills, and it might not even keep up when it gets really cold outside. So you definitely want to make sure that they're on the list, but they also have experience. Those that do have experience, they're typically going to go ahead and help you through this process. They're going to help you with the rebate forms, the heat loan intake forms, even submitting the application for you. But definitely finding someone who's a seasoned contractor is really important. Number 4, make sure that the heat pump system that you're installing in your home is rebate eligible. In 2024, they changed the standards this year. So the new 6.1 cold climate Energy Star rating has made it very complicated and difficult for a lot of distributors or manufacturers, I should say, to get all of their equipment checked again, to get all of their equipment brand new AHRIs or get their systems retested to make sure that they qualify. So not all systems qualify yet. So you definitely want to make sure that whoever's going to install the system tells you the system they're going to install, shows you that it's on the Mass Save approved list. I think they should go a step further and also show you that it has a NEEP listing. So NEEP is a really cool website. It's called neep.org. And what that'll do is when you plug in that AHRI number, it'll tell you how much heat it's going to put out at 5 degrees. And this will be really important for you because it does get to 5 degrees sometimes. But even if it doesn't, and it's 10 degrees, 15 degrees, how well is that system going to work for you at that time, right? That website will help you understand that. So definitely making sure that it's on the list and it's going to keep up when it gets cold outside. Really important. In addition, you want to make sure that they're going to list that AHRI number on your estimate. Mass Save will bump it back if they don't, so absolutely make sure. They need to have the model of the equipment that they're going to be put on, the make of the system, and if you're getting not a whole home system, but let's say you're going to do a dual fuel. Maybe you're not comfortable with just taking out your whole heating system that you have now, but you like the idea of going green and using more clean energy heat pumps. A dual fuel system is probably a better system for you. You could still keep your gas-fired or oil-fired furnace, right? But you can also utilize the cleaner, greener technology like a ductless heat pump, let's say. But what's going to make it work in between so that you're utilizing them correctly? Well, that's called an integrated controller. You're going to want to make sure that your contractor installs an integrated controller. And what that'll do is that's going to speak to the ductless system and say, hey, when it's above 30 degrees or 20 degrees outside, you're going to run. When it hits 20 degrees, let's say, now the gas-fired furnace will run. That integrated controller is really important. Mass Save wants to make sure not only that it's being installed, but again, it's listed on the estimate, the make is listed, and the model's listed. If it's not, it's going to delay your rebates. Number 5. I think this is really, really important. I don't know, maybe you will too, but I've seen a lot of customers getting quotes from contractors where they just say, I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. I know this size is going to work for your home. Are you comfortable with spending 20, 30 grand on a heat pump system and having someone guess at the size? Make sure that they give you what's called a Manual J heat loss analysis. Number 1, it's necessary for any inspections that you're going to have pulled. What I see a lot of contractors do is they size up the system first and then they write up a heat loss analysis to prove that the system's going to work. Instead, what I like to do is create the heat loss analysis first for your home, because you have a customized home. Maybe you've had energy updates, maybe you changed some glass, or maybe you added skylights, or maybe you added insulation somewhere, right? That's going to change the thermal envelope of this home. And so we need to know how much heat does this home, or how much cooling does this home need on the hottest day of the year, and how much heat does it need on the coldest day of the year. That heat loss analysis is going to provide that information, and then the contractor wants to design a system based on that. Make sure they do what's called a manual J heat loss analysis. If they don't, find someone that will. Number 6, once you get all this information, you're going to want to complete your whole home verification form, or the home intake form. If you're having trouble with this, ask your contractor. Usually they'll be able to help you fill it out. Make sure it's filled out correctly, because again, if not, it can hold up the whole process for you. Number 7, during your energy assessment, if the person that came there to assess the home recommended weatherization updates, you're going to need to do those if you want to get the higher rebate amounts. If you don't do them, then you'll just default to a partial loan. So this isn't always on the contractors, because I've seen this before where consumers wait, they never got the assessment, they got the assessment later, realized that they needed to do weatherization upgrades, but then they got mad at the contractor because the contractor said, yeah, you could get the $10,000 rebate, right? Well, they can't control if you're going to do the weatherization or not, right? So if you have the assessment, they tell you, yes, you need air sealing and you need insulation in your attic or something. Make sure that's done within the 6-month time frame. Make sure it's done during or even before if you want the rebates faster, because without it, you're going to default to a partial loan, or you're just going to hold up that $10K rebate. Step number 8, have your system installed by that heat pump contractor. You went through this whole process. Now here's the fun part, right? So here's where you're going to start to see it all come to fruition, whether it's a ductless system or a ducted system, or maybe multiple systems, right? You're getting a whole home heat pump if you're really brave and you trust us and trust the process, right? But that's the process there. Have the system installed by your contractor. Number 9, when the job is finished, first, a side point, you want to make sure that you're going to register your equipment with the manufacturer. Some of these manufacturers have 10 to 12 year part and compressor warranties, but there's a catch. If you don't register it, you're going to lose out, and you're only going to get like a 5-year warranty. So make sure that either the contractor is going to register your equipment, or you will. In addition, you're going to want to submit all your rebate information. So this is where, again, you want to cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure that everything that's supposed to be on there is there. If you're unsure, ask your contractor who's been doing it for a while. They may even do this process for you in most cases if they're seasoned and they've been doing it for a while. But again, this is a really big part where if you submit the rebate information wrong, the application wrong, it's going to get kicked back, and it's going to take you longer to get those rebates, okay? And step number 10 is, after that's done, it's just a waiting game. It's just time to wait. MassSave says roughly 6 weeks. I don't think that's entirely true. Like I said, I'm hoping the new vendor helps with that and they could get these rebates to homeowners faster. But I would say probably expect to wait 10 to 12 weeks, a couple months. So I would say don't use money that you're relying on for the 10K. Get a bridge loan or something to that effect. So that way it takes the stress off of you. A bridge loan works really nice, where you could work with your contractor, get a 0% loan for 6 months or a year, let's say, just on the 10K. Then when the rebate comes back, you could just pay that loan off and you didn't have any money out of pocket. That really should be like step 11, because that's kind of a golden nugget right there that a lot of people don't know. Bridge loans, make sure you get that. That way you don't have to put any money out, and then you don't really have to worry about it. You could do a 0%, no cost, no payment for 12 months. Once your rebate check comes in, it could take 6 months, could take 7, who cares, right? Once you get it, you can pay off that other loan. You never put any money out, and you went ahead, and now you have this beautiful system installed. So let me know if that helped. I'm going to try to put out a lot more content like this, because I really think that MassSave is a great program for homeowners here. And I think sometimes customers don't trust it. They haven't heard of it. They don't know who to trust. And I want to really be able to provide unbiased content for you. So if there's anything you want me to go over, please put it in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, which everybody's new because this is the first episode, please like and subscribe and share. It's going to help me spread this news and spread this message. Thank you. Take care.